Hello everyone, welcome back to The Sea Will Claim Everything. Last time we got to this laboratory thing and we looked at a whole bunch more books. We're out of books, I believe. So now it's time to solve puzzles. Let's look at our quests. We need to heal the Underhome. There's back. What is this? It's just a map of the island. Isle of the Moon. We're in Underhome. And oh, it's a fast travel. Nice. So we have to, there's a list of Underhome things. A doctor who can help you build a tool for cleaning Underhome's arteries. That sounds like we need a new character. A recipe. Can you make a cookie? A new carpet. Air filtration system. So let's try to find this air filtration system. What is this? No errors detected. This is a biosecurity system. Function door unlock executed. Oh! Oh, we can go outside now. I didn't know that. These thorny, resilient plants grow all over the island. I didn't realize we were out. This mushroom used to live inside Underhome, but it decided to move to the beach. It still goes back in when it gets cold, though. Trees grow in the distance. The coastline is relatively barren, but further inland, the Isle of the Moon is quite green. So yeah, this was about as far as I got the first time I played. I found another couple characters. I kind of got overwhelmed with how big the world was getting and the fact that, you know, the side quests were piling up and I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. This was way back when the game first came out. I haven't touched it since. So, we're about to get into new territory for me. I did talk to another character out here, I think. Tried to solve a puzzle, wasn't able. A lighthouse in the distance. There are many small forests on the Isle of the Moon. This flower likes to watch ships go by. Two surprisingly delicate flowers have grown from the rock. Yeah, it's surprising if you can grow on the rock. This is nice music. Alright, I think that's all we gotta do. Forward. And right is back inside. We can't turn around, only forward. Despite its inhospitable surroundings, this tree is still clinging to life. Somehow, growing out of the rock. The tiny flower seems to be watching you. It's got a good spot. It's interesting. There's not much here. It's interesting to have a screen here at all. It's a nice break from all the stuff. All the books and boxes everywhere. A pretty tiny shell. It looks a bit like an ammonite. That kind of fossil. These reeds may not be as extravagant as some flowers, but they have survived on this island for hundreds of thousands of years. These berries will make you dream of a realm of endless beaches inhabited by dancing water fairies, and you may never wake up. Careful, the thorns are very pointy. Even goats avoid them. This little mushroom prefers the outdoors to dark, smelly caves. There's a very sleepy bear taking a nap between those trees. Don't bother him. Big mushroom. Or is it a... Oh, no. It's right here on this... It is still huge, though. A couple of enormous mushrooms grow in the distance. Hard to tell whether it's back with those trees or whether it's just literally right here on this hill. Pretty little island. A spirited red flower. 2 blue spring flowers. These thistles are in full bloom. A legend says that tiny hedgehog fairies dance around them at night and spread their seeds. Is this the woods with the bear? Or is it there? These 2 mushrooms are huddling close together for warmth. And we can only go... We can't turn around, we can only go backwards. The past is always around the corner in these isles. What does that mean? So let's go to the past, I guess. It is said that if you drink the dew from these flowers in the morning, your day will be full of laughter. A tiny blue bumblebee is sitting on this flower, too exhausted to move. Eating too many of these blueberries will turn your skin blue. It's a very pretty lighthouse. Quite big, too. This tree is called Miles. Nice. There's a polecat sleeping in there. These flowers are happy to be living inside where they can relax all day and read Wordsworth to each other. It's supposed to be a mailbox, but it's been taken over by a family of birds. They even got tiny furniture. Oceanic tulips. They rarely grow on land. It says to come around to the side of the lighthouse if no one opens the door. You ring the doorbell, nothing happens. The door won't open. What's up?
A fine day, is it not?
What's up, Jack?
I'm Jack the Octopirate, traveler of the many seas, scourge of the galleon, eater of the near unbroken mussel. Or so I was called in my youth. Now I run this here lighthouse and spend my days telling tales and watching the waves.
Eater of the near unbroken mussel. Being, of course, clam-like animals that live in the ocean. Lighthouse?
A lighthouse is a boon to any captain, and a port without a lighthouse is no port at all. Port Darragh has maintained a lighthouse for as long as I can remember, but there are rumors that it can be shut down as an unnecessary expense. Can you believe that? I'm not too worried though. Let them come. There's yet some strength in these arms of mine.
Port Darragh! And examine what you're holding. A hook hand at the end of a tentacle. Alright. Well, I guess I can't go inside still. What's up? New location added to the map. Port Darragh! Are you a goon? Sorry. That's insensitive. This flower is playing hide and seek with its friends. This mushroom is very frustrated with the political situation in Port Darragh. This mushroom is helping Banhan guard the town. Is that you? What's up, friend?
Hello.
Bon.
Well, there's nothing special about me. I just guard the gate. Sometimes I get a bit tired, but it's not a bad job.
I like the fresh air from the sea. I'm sorry for profiling you as a goon earlier. That was very unwholesome of me. Tell me about Port Darragh.
This is Port Darragh. It's a very nice town, even though we're having some problems right now. But it's really nice, honestly. I grew up in the Glens, but I like living here too.
Shadowy Glen?
Shadowy Glen is where I grew up. My father has a brewery there. Would you like to visit? I can mark it on your map here. Don't be afraid, it's not really very shadowy. I don't know what they call it that.
Cool, can I go in? There's so little to examine, I don't know what to do. Port Darragh, main square. This used to be a public well, but Mayor Penglog privatized it and sold it to Lord Urizen. If you want water now, you have to pay Lord Urizen. This mushroom believes that it is very important to draw the right conclusions from the ultimate failure of the October Revolution. This mushroom believes that the right to the city is a very interesting concept worthy of further study. Mushrooms can be surprisingly intellectual, can't they? Yeah, so October Revolution, that is the Russian Revolution, if you didn't know. And look around, go lots of places. Let's try left first. I can go left again. Ugh, my mental map, my mental spatial awareness is just being put through the ringers. A huge barrel, it contains a water for long voyages. This crate is full of swamp gas. This crate contains a shipment of toy wheels from Alinian, once intended for the craftsmen of Billion Toad City. A shipment of chic fish perfume. A long-forgotten crate of undersea exploration supplies. This crate contains 700 small bronze collectibles. They're worthless. Whatever used to be in this crate, it turned to dust long ago. Sad. This bird is lost in thought. But I decided to check over there. These plants are very hardy. Apparently those are not the thorns, even though... No, maybe they are. There's a... This is where Joel the Harbor Master lives. What's up? Can I talk to you guys? I have never seen this town before, by the way. This is new to me. Rope. Sailors love ropes. I thought it would be a collectible, a pick-upable.
Ahoy, traveler!
Help.
I see you've come from a long way, and your journey is likely to take you all across the Fortunate Isles. I would therefore like to offer my ship to you in exchange for your help. You almost certainly know that our island is in debt, and though the causes are hard to understand, the results are likely to be terrible. I'm an old stork who understands little of economics, but I believe I may have found the solution to our problems. The treasure of the tomb of the Timber Tyrant. Have you promised to help me find it? My ship is yours for as long as you're here. Yes? Excellent.
Yes, yes. That is the solution to social problems is finding ancient treasure. Tell me about Port Dar.
A sailor needs a place to return to. You cannot travel if you do not have a place to travel away from or travel towards. A mermaid once told me that it is the same with eternity and mortal life.
It seems like something that sounds profound, but potentially is not. Timber Tyrant.
The Timber Tyrant was a cruel ruler who rose from these isles many years ago to enslave his own people and conquer the world. It is often thought to be only a myth now, but I have reason to believe it was quite real. And if he's real, then his treasure must be real. And with that treasure, our debt could be paid.
No, your debt can't be paid because it's held by people who want power, not money. And so, even if you could give them all the money they want, it would be like, oh no, you can't do this because then your debt would be paid and we wouldn't have power over you anymore. Token.
This token, which is given to me by my grandmother when I was but a hatchling, may be an important clue. I believe others here in Port Dar have similar tokens, and if the tales are true, then they're somehow related to the tyrant and his resting place.
Your ship?
She's all yours, so before you take her out, you might want to get a good compass. I don't have one since we storks can navigate by eternal compass nature has blessed us with, but I'm sure you'll be able to find one here on the Isle of the Moon. Oh, and a sextant is equally invaluable. You should have both before you set out.
Captain Pelargos?
Why would this stork need a boat? You may wonder if he could fly. Because I love to sea, of course. Because I'm afraid of heights.
A stork afraid of heights. You got Captain Pelargos token. Captain Pelargos token? The token of Captain Pelargos. Where, so you put the S after or not? I just default to putting the S after the apostrophe no matter what. You'll need a compass and sextant first or you get lost on the seas. That's your boat? Mighty fine ship you got there. A terrible crate containing terrible sardines. That's the name of the species, not a statement about their quality. The crate is really terrible though. A very big crate containing various goods from the Isle of the Stars. No one knows what this rope is attached to. One thing I worry about is that there's an item somewhere, like in a room full of boxes, and I just missed it. And I'm gonna have to go back and search through every box and every book and, you know. Mr. Crab!
Chum.
Port Dar.
Check. Check. Chum. Check. Chum.
Thank you. Very useful. Alright, they didn't comment on the fact that I'm talking to them through apparently some kind of floating electronic druid, techno-druidic device. Alright, now we go forward. The door seems to be stuck. You're pretty certain this is the town hall, though. I heard something. Probably get into the town hall or something. I saw it been... I heard the sound effect of it writing somewhere. Not there. Let's save. Our transdimensional coordinates saved. This fish looks like a nosy halibut. It's probably killed for asking too many personal questions. Gobblefish. A philosopher once claimed they were born to be fried. Another philosopher objected, saying this was cruel. In response, the first philosopher fried and ate him. The question of the gobblefish remains unresolved to this today. And that is always a dimension of philosophy, which is that it can be used as a justification for force. You know, I'm reading a book right now. I don't recommend it because it's so incredibly boring. But Lord of Light by Roger Zelazny, and the characters are like a million years in the future or something. They have basically invented Hindu, and through technology, characters have ascended to take the place of the Hindu gods. And there's also Buddha, and there's so much dialogue, and it is so heady, and I have trouble understanding it and knowing why I'm even reading this. But there's one point where one character, I don't even know if he's named, but he makes, or it might have actually been Buddha, but who makes this very long, like elaborate, flowery, spiritual speech. And then at the end, he raises his knife and he's like, "To beauty, down with ugliness." And basically the whole spiritual philosophical speech was to get the people to follow him in his crusade. and so none of the stuff that he was saying actually mattered to him. So that's a dimension of philosophy. It's like we always have to keep in mind the practical effect that talking about the subject and pressing these views is having on the people who are listening. Because ultimately, what it does is what it is, right? A thing's value is in what it does. And that's my view. But it's the experimentalist view. Like, if you have this incredibly elaborate philosophy that is super logical, consistent, and it describes everything and accounts for everything, but it's totally useless, then it's totally useless. And if you have this incredible philosophy that accounts for everything and its effect is to get people to pick up weapons and go attack some other group of people, then the bottom line of that philosophy is getting people to pick up weapons and go attack the other group of people, you know. And to some degree, the content of the philosophy can be arbitrary. You know, sometimes it's important, but sometimes, you know, it's the effect of the philosophy can matter more than its content. Which is kind of ironic that I went on a long spiel talking about that, because what is the effect of what I just said gonna be on you? Anyway. Blowfish. Tasty, but very hard to prepare. Potentially lethal. Alaka-fish. They're doomed to being eaten, because despite being social fish, they refuse to cooperate with one another. An inexplicable behavior that has confused scientists for decades. This fish is not suitable for cooking. Then why is it here? A few specimens of the common rudd, an overrated, irritating fish that can be acceptable if prepared just right. Maybe because this fish is best eaten raw. Occam's octopuses, known for their very sharp beaks and a tendency some cooks have to put them in foods where they don't belong. Is that a reference to Occam's razor? Is that a jab at Occam's razor? A huge, disgusting quasi-insect that some people think is a delicacy. That's what a lobster is. Catnip assures you that these crabs deserve to die. They were most villainous. Greedy Kirby fish. They are born tiny, then eaten until they become enormous and dead. Disgusting, but delicious. Like a reference to Kirby, or is that actually what they're called? Bluefish, also bluefish. Serenian pollock. Controversial amongst gourmets for its somewhat random texture and taste. A picture of a pitcher. Bowls. There's nothing amusing about bowls. A grail. Not the grail. A cup called Yusuf. It's from the Isle of the Stars. A red cup for drinking communist tea. Proper plates with a pretty pattern. Half a cup. Oh, that means there's so many things. For one, it's a cup, but it's off the edge of the screen, so it's in half. But also, this is a philosophical game, so like, is it an optimist cup or a pessimist cup? Oh, I love jokes with layers. Catnip Fishnommer. That's quite the name.
Greetings, traveler. May I interest you in some fish?
I am Catnip Fishnummer, Port Gerard's most renowned fishmonger. I sell every kind of fish imaginable, from haptic haddocks to coaxial cods, from erotic eels to amorous anchovies. Would you like a sarcastic fringe head, perhaps a tempered bass, or how about an annoying clownfish? I've got them all and more. Market. I must say things could be better. Not that the quality of my fish has decreased, or that the good people of Port Gerard have given up the exquisite pleasures of seafood, but with a crisis and all that, most of them simply can't afford fish anymore. There used to be a time when people around here ate fish twice a week, but now... Well, here's the thing. If you can't sell the fish because the people can't afford them, can you lower your prices? I mean, supply and demand. I know that's not the whole story, but I mean, I'm curious. Catfish? What a perverted notion. You don't sell catfish, you just sell everything else. Isle of the Moon. There is no finer place in all the lands of dream. Fresh air, tasty fish, green rolling hills. What more could one want from life? What about the debt? I never borrowed anything. Cats don't borrow things. It's not in our nature. Jellification? Oh, for something in the Underhome. I don't remember what. I could use your help with something. If you have the time, I'm looking for a potion. A jellification potion, more specifically. Sadly, I have neither a recipe nor any alchemical equipment at my disposal. But if I could get such a potion, I believe I could create something absolutely magnificent, which I would share with anyone who helped me, of course. I know you have more to say, but I believe I have a recipe for jellification. Scroll of recipes. Nope, potion of agility. Never mind. Token. Token. Oh, that little thing. I give it to Borin in exchange for an Atlantean scratching post. It was a little dilapidated, but I fixed it up, and it has been absolutely worth it. Borin. Have we met Borin? Is this Borin? Nope. And we can go again. We're turning a lot. How many times? Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. So this must be a non-Euclidean world. Hello. A trash can that is part Dalek, part Viking. Part droid, maybe? A trident and a broom, both originally owned by Poseidon. The broom is purely decorative. Yeah, what are you gonna sweep underwater? A magic gourd, such as are used by shamans and musical performers. Wind chimes from the lower reaches of the gigantic bean muncher. One of several enchanted swords Boren has on offer. You're Boren. I can't examine whatever this is. Peacock feathers or something? A pitcher that escaped from the stand next door. The one with the pitcher sand on it. Picture on it. A bottle of sepulchral spirits. I've seen this word before. I don't know what it means. The genie in this magic lamp only grants really stupid wishes. This stall is delightful. Mushroom. This mushroom believes that dictatorship of the proletariat is an unfortunate term. Yeah, it was coined before the word dictatorship meant had all the horrendous connotations it does today. A purple spoon harvested from the head of a wild antweiler. A spatula? A spanking implement? A cheese grater? You can't tell. This spoon is tired of hearing that there is no spoon. There is a spoon, so deal with it. Matrix reference. These amulets are so tangled up with each other your window cannot provide separate descriptions. Alright. Boxes! This very small box contains an even smaller box, which in turn contains an enormous box. This box contains a traditional dwarven petrified pastry. A badass box. A candle. Wizards traditionally use them to light their beards on fire. An old and very valuable clock from the Time Ward's kingdom. Bottles and other containers. There's more than enough of these in Underhome. Various knickknacks and curios, including a traditional adventure lantern. A collection of implements for making holes in people and or objects. What is up, good sir?
Well met, traveler. I am Boren, son of Nain. In the old days I was called Iron Hand, though a few use that name now. I sell these knickknacks. Mostly I exchange them for other things, since we have so little money now. It is a life. I was born and raised in a faraway land, sometimes called Arda. The Grey Mountains were my home, in the far north beyond Mirkwood.
Oh, so you're from Middle-earth.
I would sing of it, but there are no words in your language, and few now speak Kudzil. There was a great beauty in that land, and dignity, before the tourists and filmmakers came.
Yep, we shouldn't have shot the Lord of the Rings there. Isle of the Moon.
It's not a bad place, but now there's much suffering and fear. In some ways it reminds me of my youth.
Well, that's frightening.
Port Dara was never rich, but life was never desperate. At least not in the years that I've spent here. Though bad times have come before, it's not easy for shopkeepers and merchants to survive.
Sexton?
A sexton? Yes, I do believe I have one. I'll trade it to you for an amulet. Not any amulet, of course, but the one I lost some time ago would dearly love to recover. I left it in Alnion when I was there to trade before the town was abandoned. It's not precious, so perhaps it's still there where the market used to be. A foolish hope, but what do we have these days but foolish hopes? Anyway, I would be grateful if you went and looked. It's a long way to walk for an old dwarf. If it's not there, I'll give you the sexton anyway.
Token?
I would give it to you for free if I still had it, but I sadly do not. I traded it to a traveler from the Isle of the Stars a few weeks ago. I'm afraid you'll have to go there if you wish to retrieve the token.
Alnion?
Alnion was a wheelwright's village up north in a valley beyond the shadowy Glurn. A nice place, quiet, perhaps a little too quiet. It was the first place to be struck down by the debt, its people forced to live a life so frugal that to abandon their homes. Perhaps we should have seen it as a warning that the same would be done to Port Drag. Certainly the frugality did not help them. The village was abandoned, and its debt was higher than ever, and all the land was claimed by Lord Horizon.
Alright, thank you much. Oh, we can turn again. We're not able to turn in a complete circle. We just keep going and going and going. How many times have we turned 90 degrees? Hello. Dried purple mushrooms. Really good if you put them in an omelet. Avocados. At the moment, they're hard enough to kill someone with, but in a few days, they'll unexpectedly turn to mush in under 3 seconds. The flower, often called radishy hydrangea, is neither a true hydrangea, nor does it smell or taste of radishes. Typo! The real name is the result of a mistranslation several centuries ago. Herbivorous creatures like to use the many-colored new strangler in their salads. A blue plant that smells like broccoli. The color doesn't make up for the smell. Potatoes. Peel them, slice them, put them in a casserole. Add olive oil, 2 cloves of minced garlic, rosemary, oregano, thyme, salt, pepper. Bake for 45 minutes. Delicious. Just saying. That's a lot of stuff to remember. I don't know, maybe if you are good at cooking, you can... See, I can't remember all these. I can't remember these things. It's too much. I'd have to write them down and then go to the grocery store, hold up the list in front of me, like where the frick do I find oregano? I don't even know what that is. A chameleon mushroom disguised as a potato. Did you hear the story of the Vicar and the potato? No? Good. It would ruin your appetite. Gourds. They would have to be specially prepared before they could be used by a shaman, though. This pumpkin has no personality. It used to be a manager. Locally grown watermelons. They're not as good as those from the Isle of the Sun, but Anaria wanted to try. It's Muhaha, the evil pumpkin! These watermelons belong to Muhaha. Some people can do almost anything if they have a very small aubergine. I don't get it. The and Neve often buy fresh lavender from Anaria. Oh yeah, we're looking for Neve. This parsley is particularly palatable. Aromatic laurel leaves. They add a lot of flavor to food, but should not themselves be eaten. Mild peppers. Garlic from the Isle of the Sun. Green cucumbers of the type common in the Fortunate Isles. There are many other varieties, including one that resembles a bee and lives in cucumber hives. What? Parsnip. There's not much to say about parsnips. Cabbage! Ligonian carrots, grown here on the island since Ligonia is no more. These amazingly delicious apples were grown by Anaria herself. Juicy pears from Murisk. Pineapples from Tlun. According to Ukbert Appledorn, bananas are the first step toward philosophy. One of the authors that we saw in clicking the books. Hello. A governor traveler. I am Anaya, daughter of Isilia and Oranor. I sell fruits and vegetables here on the market, and I am an excellent guitar player. My family has lived here for as long as anyone can remember, though many of them spent many years traveling the seas. The sea holds a special meaning to my people, you know, one that goes back to the oldest days of our memory. I've heard that it's the same with humans, because they were born of the sea. We were born of the sea. What does that mean? Is it a reference to some mythology? Or is it a reference to the first amphibious creature evolving? Things have been getting worse all the time, and it's quite worrying. While the selection you see here is certainly excellent, there was a time when I had so much more. The food prices on the mainland have become prohibitively high, so high I haven't been able to get Oaklandish, oakberries, or Tyrian thyme in months. I don't understand why this is going on. Surely it has not become more expensive to grow them. So your elf, probably also from Middle Earth? Vegetables and fruits are healthy and should be part of everyone's diet. However, it's my firm opinion that most people know very little about how to select and prepare vegetables correctly. Guilty. And as a result, many children are forced to experience unspeakable horrors at the dinner table. How many children are condemned to a life of hating vegetables simply because a misguided parent insists on making them eat broccoli or even cabbage? Even an aubergine can be ruined by an unknowledgeable cook. Vegetarian? I have recently discovered that certain individuals who apparently hold my people in high esteem are utterly convinced that we keep to the particular dogma of the plant eaters. This is, of course, quite ludicrous. While we do enjoy our fruits and vegetables, a balanced diet must also include the meat of land animals and fish, and thus we partake in all of these. In fact, some of our greatest heroes were skilled hunters. Shoutouts to anyone who's vegetarian. That is, good. I want to say something more eloquently. That you have control over your diet in a way that I do not. All I know is that when I eat meat, I feel more alive. And also vegetables. And also grains. You know. My body feels not fully functional without meat. Could I get it? Whatever that need is protein? Something? Could I get that from other places? Probably. I have not figured out what it is though. And so I eat meat. I also don't particularly have any moral qualms against eating meat. I mean, I do kind of hate the American what's the word? Factory farming. I hate the way that we mass produce meat. But other than that, I don't particularly I don't think it's a tremendous cruelty that animals are raised on farms and ultimately used for meat. Sorry if I offended anybody. I feel like if I did offend somebody, there's no getting back from it. So I am truly sorry. So let's continue on.
A token?
Yes, I have one. It was given to me by my mother, who said it was very valuable, though not in its materials. I see you need it for a quest you believe to be meaningful, but I cannot simply hand it over, if only because my mother would kill me if she found out. Might I propose an exchange? The token for a wild banana fruit. I can't afford to buy them from the mainland anymore, but if you could find me a wild one, I could plant a tree in my cellar. The cultivated variety has been magically altered not to have seeds, you see, so that people can't grow them on their own. Uh-oh. Somebody wants control. So a wild banana is very valuable, enough that my mother won't complain too much about the token. Alright. That's a new side quest, and now we're turning again. And we can turn again. Boys Inn is the finest place to eat, drink, and rest in Port Dar. A bottle of vintage Miravor. That sounds like something from Lord of the Rings or Elder Scrolls. A Were beeswax candle. Okay. A two-headed flower. These plants really do grow everywhere, except in Underhome. A mouse entrance. You don't fit in there. Are you the mouse?
Oh, hey!
Or are you a different mouse? Lou?
I'm Lou McScurry. Lou of the McScurry family. That's me. I run the inn in the inn. The inn in the inn is a small inn for mice, rats, or rodents. Very small humans, sometimes ants. We eat, drink, laugh. Sometimes people stay a very long, a whole hour. I'm an innkeeper. I stay here all the time, except at night. I like cheese. I'm a mouse. We're very fast. Have to be, actually. I'm quite relaxed. For a mouse, you should see my cousin Kevin, always running and nibbling. No time for a nice pint. Or my other cousin Brian, got eaten by an eagle. Never comes by anymore.
That happens after you get eaten.
Nice town, very nice. My family helped found it, I think. Many generations ago. Always lived here. Life is hard now. Not much cheese. Token, yes. Give to me by my great-grandfather last month. Very nice. You want to have it? Find treasure? I'll exchange it. Barter system. Bring me cheese. Special cheese. Port tower. Find me treasure. Used to be traditional. No one makes it now. If you get it, I will make a feast. A feast for all the mice in port. To lift our spirits. Good cause, yes.
Yes, indeed. Can I go in? I can. Boys in bar. Cups from the Cirque du Soleil. These glasses were a gift from Oi's friend Basil, an innkeeper in oddness standing. Bob the spiders in 2 of those glasses. But in 2 of them? What? It smells like there was a pretty strong cocktail in there. No wonder Phidias is smiling. Are you Phidias? Dr. Phidias?
Greetings, stranger. How may I be of assistance? I am Dr. Phidias, traveling physician from the Isle of the Sun. I travel so I may learn the wisdom of others. There can be no healing without knowledge.
How is this S supposed to be stressed? Others. It's not a hiss. Jellification potion?
Jellification potion, yes. I do know how to make them. They can be most useful in preparing certain ingredients. Here, I will copy the recipe for you. Good luck.
Can you help heal Underhome?
Underhome has been assaulted. The outrage. I was hoping to visit the Mysterious-Druid to speak of biotechnology, whatever is the world coming to. But I will do my best to help you heal the damage. I will give you my recipe for the soup of recovery. Cook this in the Underhome's kitchen and let it absorb the fumes. The ingredients will be hard to find, but the cause is worthy.
Alright, cool. Arterial cleaning device.
An arterial cleaning device? Sadly, I do not know how to make such a thing.
Perhaps you should inquire on the Isle of the Stars. Haven't been there yet. New recipe! Yay! All the bottles gonna have examinations. A bottle of spiced brewery. Absinthe with a hit of green moat. Should be only ingested in minute quantities. Perpendicular pulque. Oak flavored Entdraft. Draft? How's that word pronounced? A big bottle of glandular slame. A small bottle of splurg. Permanently perverted potato protein. A medicinal smelling whiskey. Distilled goulash. A minty sort of drinky. Aliantha juice. Wine from southern Pagana. Locally produced cherry juice. This keg is completely empty. An empty beer keg. Uh-oh, better fill that. Glasses. Whiskey by Janet Jackson. Fawn 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 by Terry Fawn. Dog Puncher's Cocktail Guide by Dog Puncher. The Innkeeper's Book of Autobiographical Insight. A pile of magazines for guests to read. As is usually the case, most of them are unspeakably dull. Boy keeps some of his more exotic drinks in there. Alright, what's up?
Welcome to Oi's Inn. Relax, have a drink. When I was younger, I was afraid that my malformed arm would mean that I couldn't be an innkeeper, but it turns out I can do the job quite well. I'm very proud of what the inn means to Port Dog, even though the crisis means that fewer people can now come here. My family has run this inn for many generations. It's a place of rest and relaxation for many a weary traveler, and also a place where the townspeople come to talk, drink, and celebrate. We share the building with Lou's Inn in the inn. Oh, we have a very solid selection. Not like what you'll get in Wateropolis, of course, but probably the best you'll find in the Fortunate Isles. Barley wine, Miravor, butterbeer, many different kinds of whiskey. I believe we have bottles of Lorwyn's finest somewhere, and a discerning customer may be interested in our Serenian Stout.
I knew the butterbeers from Harry Potter. Are there references in the rest of these? Foods?
We've got all the traditional meals, though what I really recommend is our baked eel monster with crunchy potatoes and garlic. If you're more partial to salads like myself, I recommend the grass salad with the small insects. It's my mother's recipe, and I promise it tastes equally good every time it comes back up.
Something lost in the species translation there. Rumors.
Apparently, the notorious Baron Albert von Kurzbaumen is claiming he has trademarked the concept of wood. Outrageous!
Token.
A token, you say?
I wonder if this has any reference to the Fine Bros trying to trademark the word react for their react videos. That was probably later than this game, right?
You can't find the Glen, ask Bon. He grew up there.
I missed that text. Flaming cheddar.
Flaming cheddar? I'm sorry, I have no idea how to make that. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever eaten any. Or seen any, for that matter. I think it has something to do with one of the ingredients suddenly becoming hard to find, but I don't remember what it was.
Alright, let us save. Made some talking progress. Oh, is this your malformed hand? Looks kind of pulpy. I don't know, let's take a look, another look around. There's so many... I'm gonna get disoriented. A mental map. A solitary salt shaker. If you need to use a toilet, please use one on your side of the window. What? It's a table. The menu. The potato dishes are particularly good. These flowers got so hungry they ate the other flower's description. These knives are quite knifey. Some ontological spoons. Probably, so ontological is the fancy philosophy word for about what exists. The theory of what exists. So these spoons have are spoons that are about spoons existing. An ancient temple near Billion Toad City. I wonder if we're gonna get to go there. A reproduction of Brian Blessed's famous photo of a desert yeti. An old picture of a lighthouse outside town. A famous ruin that Oi once visited. A great king was crowned here, but few remember his name. Did we just see it outside? A picture of The's great uncle Claudius in the ruins of Bombasharna, who is good friends with Oi's father. Look at this, the menu. A picture of a famous three-headed writer who once stayed in Oi's Inn for several weeks to work on a trilogy of books. You wrote those in several weeks? I've been writing on my book for years. It's some sort of henge here on the Isle of the Moon. Yes. A photo from the dangerous land of Tetris, where blocks of stone continuously fall from the sky. One of the stranger places in the world. An empty bottle. Ah, so this is what we saw from the outside. Same description. Salt and pepper shakers. The salt is in the pepper shaker and the pepper's in the salt shaker. This is an X cocktail. A bottle of brown Bavari. A very expensive wine from Mournhold. A very sweet wine that smells of Timsicum by flowers. Whatever it is, it contains a lot of alcohol. Man, this guy has a lot. I guess he knows that he's old enough to know his limits. The strongest coffee you've ever smelled. To bring him out of the inebriation.
What?
Man, who's you?
It's all gone. The ship, the horse, the cloak, the sword. No more riding the waves. No more great adventures. No more guiding. No more. Just this now. Replace me with the hydrofoil they did. Really? Rendered me to Tartarus, but I escaped? Didn't do me much good.
Are you a character I should know from something? Magmel, for whatever reason. I don't know what that is.
Not like it used to be. It used to be great. It used to be like coming out of a storm and finding a place of perfect calm, like a secret places underwater where the octopuses hold their councils. Like that. Now it's poor, but very competitive. We're proud of being very competitive. Work for food, make toys for tourists, little action figures of old heroes. Wanna be too? There used to be no hunger.
Any news about Neve?
A great-great-granddaughter. She was here, I remember. She said something, I remember. She said I forgot. Oh wait, she went the Isle of the Sun. I wish I could have given her my old church. Maybe I need more ale.
Maybe, I don't think so. Sorry about you, old man. Alright, no more going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we're turning, how many degrees is that? 360 plus 270. 6 something. One day this mushroom will learn to sing like an angel. A funeral angel, but an angel nonetheless. This mushroom is part of a proud lineage of mushrooms dating back to the founding of Port Durr. This is actually a muffin. This mushroom has been downsized. These two mushrooms are old-fashioned conservatives, which means they sound like radical progressives to most modern conservative mushrooms. A subtle mushroom, an average mushroom, it hasn't accomplished much, but it has a good heart. 2 stealth mushrooms, a jocular mushroom, a small family of mushrooms working hard to make it in the world. A strange species of mushroom that has no description. 2 married homosexual mushrooms. Yes, it's legal in Port Durr. Lord Urizen, however, claims it is unnatural and is working to change that. Down with Lord Urizen! This mushroom is studying transcendentalism with an emphasis on the work of Emerson. I have heard of that. I don't know what it is. The water from the well is very cold and very refreshing. An old god called Totatus lives here, barely surviving from the few royalties he gets for his appearances in comics. This mushroom is a bit of a show-off. Yeah, how many of you thought I would miss that? You have a mushroom? Can I examine it? Hello.
Hey there, how are you? Name's Patrick. Patrick, a leprechaun. Yes, I'm from America. I came here just because I couldn't stand the stereotypes anymore. Here I'm just another citizen, but back home everyone was always making such a big point of my heritage of being a leprechaun. I always had to wear green clothing and a fake beard and talk with an accent. It was terrible. You only have an identity when no one cares about your identity. I love it here, even though it's not, worked out really well for me. It's beautiful. As a child, I always heard about Port Durr from my uncle when he visited us. But until I actually set foot on the Isle of the Moon, I didn't really been able to imagine what it would be like. Man, this is embarrassing, but I'm an innkeeper. Okay, relax, Patrick, relax. The thing is, I'm really hungry. I haven't had anything to eat in a while. I don't have any money. I used to work in the mayor's office, but the new mayor fired me because state employees drained the economy. I could barely live from the money I made then, but now, yeah. So, maybe you could ask the innkeeper if he could give me some leftovers.
Alright. I'm right here. Might as well do that. Rumors.
I heard a rumor from the kingdom of enigmatic snakes, but to be honest, I didn't really understand it.
Patrick?
Why didn't he just come and talk to me? What is it with all this shyness? It's completely unnecessary. These are hard times and people should help each other. Here, give him this and tell him to stop being silly.
You got a meal for Patrick. Nice. Black and white. Alright, we gotta check all these all these items. I'm gonna save here because I'm about to do something in the menu. Oh, the meal's not here. Okay. Nope, there it is. Food. It smells delicious. Boy must be a very good cook. The mouse says it's very happy for Patrick. You can't eat Patrick's food? Oh yeah, I saved in case I did eat Patrick's food and then I'd have to go back in and get another one or undo the action. Captain's token. A token of the tomb of the treasure tyrant. You spin it a few times. Shiny. It smells of feathers. It probably won't hurt you, but you might need it and then you'll have to wait until it comes back out. The mouse doesn't really care about this token. Gloves. I think we did that one. Nothing. Potion of awakeness. Safe key. Wait, didn't we find a safe? We have another scroll, potion of agility, potion of jellification, soup of recovery. Alright. Underhome's kitchen. Cook the following ingredients. Pretty sure there's some I don't have. Alright, Patrick.
A full meal? Oh wow, I didn't. And he says, I didn't expect so much kindness. Sorry, I don't want to embarrass you. Getting all emotional here. It's just no one's really done this kind thing for me before. I always thought the world was, you know, dog eat dog and all that. Thank you, both of you. And oh, would you like to have this? It's an ancient token of some kind. I found it hidden in one of my uncle's old shoes.
So we got another token. So now we have 2 tokens. Patrick's token. Smells of leprechaun. There are 2 tokens. It seems everybody here has a token that we have to do a side quest for. Except maybe you. Cheese?
Flaming cheddar. Someone must still know how to make it.
Let's go and, now that we've talked to a few people, yep, we can just get more dialogue.
There is no shame in asking for help. If only more people understood this. So much of what we do is about helping others. I became a doctor to help others heal. I became an innkeeper to make others feel at home. Repulsive squish leaf. If you're lacking the repulsive squish leaf, know they can be found near small rivers.
Cool. You have anything new to say? Carrot and leek?
I will gladly trade you as many carrots and leeks as you want in exchange for your help. I've run out of fertilizer, and the type of fertilizer I normally use is no longer available. I don't want to use the unhealthy stuff that Lord Urizen's people recommend, so I need someone to get more of the good kind. It's called bat guano. It can be often found in caves.
Yep. It is the scientific word for shit.
Hot peppers? No, I'm sorry. I only have regular peppers. Hot peppers aren't very popular in Port Darag. It might have something to do with that time I accidentally sold those volatile, piquant peppers as mild peppers and gave everybody incendiary bowel syndrome.
It sounds painful.
The guitar is a tremendous instrument. To my ears, and my ears are really good, there is no sound more lyrical than that of a guitar.
I believe we are not hearing a guitar in the background. That is a different instrument.
No other instrument can evoke our memories of places long ago, guide us into tranquility, or fill us with hope. Equally, the guitar can express the sorrow and longing of all those bound by the circles of the world. Even the simple melody of the Beleriand blues speaks a truth that no work of philosophy can truly capture.
You have anything new to say? Flame and cheddar?
Flame and cheddar with a slice of scram and some fine ale. Scrumptious. Alas, I do not know how it's made. Not all traditions are good or worth keeping, as we dwarves know all too well. But it does sadden me when such things are forgotten.
Greetings, traveler.
May I interest you in some fish? Salmon of wisdom?
Salmon of wisdom? Ah, how unfortunate.
I have so many types of fish, but sadly none of that. If you had come just a few years ago, I could have provided a magnificent specimen. But when Mayor Penglog took over, he brokered a deal with a fishery on the mainland, and they sent their boats here and caught so much salmon that we never saw any again. I'm sensing a new spot. A little bit of a commentary on colonialism, perhaps. Mayor Penglog's financial measures have forced the merchant who used to run this stand to close it down. Maybe also a commentary on feudalism? Lord Urizen? Maybe something about capitalism? Certain aspects of it? This mushroom used to be blue, but seeing what happened to the nice merchant who worked here has turned it red. And communist. This mushroom thinks the other mushrooms are being too political. It's just inappropriate, it says. This mushroom is reading Mushrooms and the Urban Experience. An upstanding mushroom. Well, we can talk to more people. Nope, nothing new, nothing new. I think we are done with Port. You have anything new? Hey.
Hello.
Town hall door.
The door opens only if you push it a bit to the left while you're opening it. It'll be easy to fix, but for some reason the mayor won't let me. I don't understand why he doesn't believe I can do it.
Oh, I don't have something like that. I don't think so. Maybe you should ask my father.
I don't know Patrick very well, but he told me a very funny joke. It goes, two ghosts. Oh, no, wait. Two banshees walk into a bar, and the barman says, something about karaoke, but the way he said it was so funny. I'm sorry. I'm not good at telling jokes, but I'm glad Patrick's feeling better.
Beer shortage?
That poor old man, he's in his drinking too much. I think he used to be famous. I'm not good with history. I'm sorry he's so sad, though.
Okie dokie. We should be able to go in now. Hey. Is this a living skull? There's a skull here. Is he a ghost? Is apparently alive in some sense of the word.
My time is limited.
Mayor Penglog.
I think of myself as a patriot,
Not the nationalist sense, of course, but as someone who has the best interest of Port Darag in mind. Hard choices have had to be made, and it will take courage to bring Port Darag into the future. I'm confident that our actions will lead through the current dry spell to a brighter future. We will work hard and overcome our troubles. I'm confident. For all legal purposes, these statements are to be taken as being of an inspirational nature. Economic results may vary. Now that's commentary. Isle of the Moon. We are the tiger of the Fortunate Isles, charging forward and never stepping like a shark. Inspired by freedom and hard work to reach for greater heights. I know I didn't say that right, but it's kind of funny. Never stepping like a shark. Never stopping like a shark. We are inspired by our friends on the mainland and ready to cut all excess fat. We will not let red tape and the leeches of society allow the tiger to stop charging forward like a shark. Growth matters and Port Darag embodies growth. Poverty. The problem is not poverty, but an overabundance of wealth, which has strangled the fire within that is our desire to competitively rise to the top of the challenging but necessary mountain of business, standing instead in the lush valleys below and never wondering why our flocks are dying. What we need is to make sure the burden of the shepherd is lightened so that he may better lead, and the burden of the sheep is increased so it is motivated to reach the top of the mountain. So basically he's saying he wants the people at the top to get richer and the people at the bottom to get poorer. Is that what he's saying? Underhome. Are you suggesting that as organized and efficient an organization as the Bank of Yawn would initiate foreclosure proceedings by accident? They process thousands of foreclosures per day. It is extremely irrational to suggest they would not be highly proficient at this. Perhaps your friend has merely misunderstood something. Recently, a one-time tax on some types of property was instituted according to Mayoral Decision 55B, a process of which was handled by the aforementioned bank. Should this be the case, once the foreclosure is complete, you can submit 2 forms, one to me, one to a representative of the bank, stating that an error may have occurred. If the bank agrees, the issue will be investigated within the next 48 months. Hunger. If hunger becomes a significant problem, which is extremely doubtful in our rapidly growing economy, we can be certain that a market-based solution will soon materialize. It's not necessary to look to the state to provide to those too lazy to provide to themselves, particularly when the economy is so weak. We just can't afford it. Oh man, get this guy out of office. The planned Port Darragh Golf Club. That's private property. Stay away. How to impersonate others for fun and profit. Genocide takes commitment. 10 new approaches to creating profitable inequity. How to eat everything and make others pay the bill. A guide to metaphorical eating. Penglog's beloved lucky golf ball. Penglog's prize for winning the Borrington Elite Golf Championship. A photo of Penglog playing golf. Even the photo is tedious. You'll never know what's in there. The Jackals of Evil by Terry Goodkind. I recently reread all of Terry Goodkind's Sword of Truth series. Because I read it as a kid, and I loved it as a kid. And then I heard people were like, I heard it had a terrible reputation. Everybody liked to shit on it as like the example of the worst best-selling fantasy ever. I was like, maybe I should read it again to see what everybody hates about it. And I did. And it was a weird mix of could not put the books down and this is awful, I hate this man. The Virtue of Selfishness, a New Concept of Egoism by Ayn Rand. I think that's a real book. This might also be a real book, but I haven't read that one. You Earned This, 100 Ways to Find Pride in Your Accomplishments by a long name. That's private property, stay away. Papers authorizing the firing of public sector workers, cuts in pensions, and a major bailout for the Penglog Golfing Incorporated. Approved green ink made by squeezing baby octopuses. A stamp that has the authority to control people's lives. A shiny distraction. In Newton's cradle, you pull one of them and it bonks, and then the middle two don't move, but this one bonks up, and then it's back and forth, but only the ones on the end, the ones in the middle stay still. Careful, each of these golf clubs costs as much as you'll earn in a year. Mayor Penglog's Diploma of Advanced Post-Historical Economic Management Consultancy from the University of Plagiantingen. Please keep your hand off these private medical supplies. The substances stored in there are completely harmless. Really? Alright. Alright. You guys have an election anytime soon? Well, thank you for all this. Now let's see if I can get any more dialogue from these other characters. More rumors? Merged Necromancer is bringing his world-famous dancing ghouls to Billion Toad City for a big anti-Urising concert. Say Joplin might be playing too. Nice. More rumors? They say Herbert the mutant radical goat has been seen wandering the land of plenty. There's some disagreement as to what that means. There's a lot of text. I'm debating now whether to keep going back in until this depletes, but it could literally be 1,000 rumors.
A cat told me that the fabulous Screech will be taking his circus to Hyperborea later this year. I've never seen the show. It's supposed to be quite the thing. I don't know what kind of thing, but apparently it's quite that.
You have anything new to say? I'll come back and ask you for rumors again every time I'm here. I mean, all I did was talk to the mayor, I guess. Not that way. Alright, I think we're ready to head back. And go this way instead. Let's go to the henge. That's... what? Oh, I went all the ways. Okay. Can I go in? Nope. You have anything new to say? Hey. Compass.
Well, compass? Why, yes, I do have one. It's yours if you want it. I certainly have little use for it these days. It's inside in the blue cabinet. The door's unlocked. You just need to pull harder.
Yeah. Timber tyrant.
I have heard stories. I've even seen some of its sunken ships. The cities he burned that never grew again. Not so much unlike this Lord Horizon now. Just goes to show it doesn't matter where you're from. Tyranny lives everywhere. Aye, it's a fine town. I didn't choose this lighthouse for nothing, you know. Back in the day, who wouldn't have wanted Jack the Octopirate as a lighthouse keeper? Even got an offer from the Kingdom of the Enigmatic Snakes. But there's just something about Port Durar. It's simple, quiet, and decent. A good place for an old sailor.
Alright, let's go in. No comment on the rug. Jack's beloved teddy bear, Ursus Arctos. The clock is set at Eastern Octopus time. I sailed with Chinese pirates. Kinoi no Komatsu. I don't know what that means. It's Japanese. A general history of the robberies and murders of the most notorious pirates. With a Y. A candle essential in every lighthouse. Just make sure that you, I don't approve of open flames in buildings, flammable buildings. A seaweed-themed towel that Jack got as a present from Poseidon after defeating him in a shark wrestling match. I don't know, what is shark wrestling? Do you bet on sharks, or do you, like, hold sharks? Like, beat each other with them? I don't know. Jack made a prawn soup for breakfast as an octopus thing. A pitcher full of seawater. Dishes made from flat shells. Hey, you found a compass! Also some sponges, but you don't need those. Alright. You find out which way is north, probably. Smells of seafood. It won't fit in your mouth. The mouse says thank you, but it already knew which direction north is. These flowers think Wordsworth is overrated and prefer Robert Frost. Poets. Indoor seaweed. This stuff is hard to grow. More books. The Black Corsair's Daughter. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's a real book. One of the OG sci-fi books. Over 100 years old. Myths of the Fortunate Isles. The Son of the Red Corsair. Finding your way around Silmaria. I married a cephalopod. 1,000 mollusks to eat before you die. Joram Duga's fictional guide to imaginary seas. A beautiful mussel Jack found in the Sea of Green Spirits. Edward Teach tried to take it from him, but Jack defeated his enemy in a legendary battle. Later they became friends. This box contains Jack's collection of pretty shells from all around the world. This box contains a human skull. Legendary Ancient Treasures by Elaine Marley. The Mysterious Island. The Tigers of Montprechem. Attack of the Laser Octopus. Sailing the Serenian Sea. The Tombs of Atuan, an insider's perspective. This flower is called Harry. You can't go up? Perhaps not. Alright. Looked over at the time. I think it's probably about a good time to call it for today. So we've been to our 2 paths. We now have a bunch more quests. We have more items. Maybe some more items to... We can go back to the Underhome next time. See if maybe we can add some more ingredients or something. Yeah, we got a map. Actually, no, we do have some more places we can warp to. So you know what? I think I will go back into the Underhome and try talking. Can't talk to them. You have anything new to say? You have a lot new to say. I guess we just haven't talked to this version of you yet. Have we even... Yeah, we haven't done... We have looked around here. Because remember...
Welcome to the kitchen. We've got everything a cook can possibly want. There's even an oven for baking things, a stove for brewing and boiling, and a fridge, a frying... yeah, I butchered that sentence. A fridge, an excellent selection of cooking implements, and even a few cookbooks. Stains. If you notice any stains in this room, in fact, if you notice any stains in Underhome or the vicinity, that's my chocolate cake. There was an accident, a miscalculation with explosive results. Eve said it registered on a seismograph.
Alright, nobody there. Nothing down here. Route settings. Nothing here. It's just you. Anything new for you? Hi, nice to see you again. I've been thinking about composing lately. Sometimes melodies will just come to me, you know? And I think that if I study really hard, I can turn these melodies into proper songs. There's something really amazing to me about music. It's like, I don't know, the language of reality itself. Like it expresses something about the structure of the universe that can't be expressed any other way. God, I sound like a teenage eyeball, but it's true. That sentiment made it all the way into Talos Principle 2. Air filtrations. Anaerobe, Vorlon, Gilarathi, Quarian, Valkyrie, Gaim. Human! Let's set it to human. Alright. That, I think, is another side quest down. I guess I just never did that before. Anaerobic. That is no oxygen. You know, some of these are like, this will probably kill us if we set it to that. Alright, we've seen the biojournal. So what do we have more? Return to Mysterious-Druid, tell him about Mayor Penglog's nonsensical response. Alright, and then we have to clean the arteries, right? Is that the only thing left about healing Underhome? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Alright. Do you have anything? Guano. Do you have any spare guano?
Excuse me, what? You want my poo?
Well, I suppose. I've heard of worse things, I think. Room of boxes. Really sorry you had to go in there. Yay! There's nothing like some good bat excrement. That's what the object would look like if you picked it up in a black and white photo. Alright, well, you know what we gotta do. Poke. It's bat poo. Everything has the same description. Alright, so before we finish off, we'll go deliver that, I suppose. I'm just checking to make sure this is familiar. Soup of Recovery? The Soup of Recovery? That sounds perfect! Phidias is a renowned healer. I'm sure his recipe will work. I just hope finding the ingredients isn't going to be too tricky. Alright, so this we will fiddle with again later in another episode. Logs. Can't go in there. Not until we find Neve. Underhome won't open this door before it's healed. Can't pick any of these. Are there seeds? You're not allowed to pick it up. Maybe I need to talk to these creatures. Anything about the roots?
Hey, you fixed the roots. Good job. Protecting the roots is one of the most important parts of raising a plant, you know? I read a great book about that once. It said if you pay too much attention to the superstructure, the stuff that's visible, you forget about the base. But the base is where everything grows from. This is even more important when it comes to growing mushrooms.
Guano.
Hey, you could ask Patricia. I'm sure she has a lot of bat poo.
No going up. All right, that is everybody spoken to. I want to actually, now that I have not here. Now that I have the guano, I want to get rid of it before we end. If I can remember the way. Is it you who wanted it? No, it's the elf. Carrot and leek, thank you. That should last me for a while. I won't have to use anything that will harm them, harm the ground. Here, you promised vegetables. Come back if you need more. You got a carrot and some leek. Carrot. There are ways of using this carrot, but this window does not support them. It smells of blueberries. No, really. What are you, a rabbit? The mouse asks you whether it looks like a rabbit. Leek. You wave it around. It smells leaky. It's just too healthy to eat. The mouse sniffs at the leek, then goes to have a peek. Alright, what do we have to do with the carrot and leek? The soup? I guess that's part of the ingredients for the soup, probably, right? Oh man. I guess it's in alphabetical order, isn't it? Salmon, leek, and carrot. That's part of it. Alright. So now we hop back to the Underhome. Dang it. And talk to the Mysterious-Druid.
Hello there. She's on the Isle of the Sun? Oh, that's good to know. I hope she's okay.
Foreclosure.
That's frustrating. I should have known. I really should have. You read about this kind of thing in books, but you never expect it'll happen to you. Well, we're not going to give up, are we? Since we can't get a meaningful answer from Penglog, let's ask someone who may know what we can do in this situation. Go to the Isle of the Sun and talk to Sophia, the librarian. If anyone understands the situation, it's her.
Flaming cheddar.
Flaming cheddar? I never met her, but I think someone once told me that my grandmother used to make that.
I thought it was a joke. Like, pardner, I hardly know her. Flaming cheddar, I never met her. No, he said, I never met my great-grandmother or whatever.
There might be a recipe somewhere in the house. Try the big orange cookbook in the kitchen.
Timber tyrant.
A timber tyrant? Oh, finding his tomb and his treasure. Not a bad idea. I have something that might help you. My family was one of those involved in bringing him down long ago. When I was young, I found an ancient key.
That is a wrong sentence.
When I was young, I found an ancient key in a little box that seemed to fit no door in Underhome. Here, take it. I believe it may be the key to the tomb.
What? Okay.
Port Darer. It's very quiet these days, isn't it? It used to be a bit more lively, especially before good old Merden Willett moved away. He'd sing and dance a noise in every night, and once he got going, it was hard to resist joining in. He was entirely mad, of course, but what a lovely man.
Alright, we got a few things. A key. Looks so different. Alright, so we gotta go to the cookbook. And I keep making excuses to keep playing. But you know, this is the good kind of keep playing. Is a little bit more... It's not like... So some games, I'm like, alright, I'm tired, I want to stop playing. And I don't really have any reason to keep playing. With this game, it's like, oh, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing, inner mom, and then I'll turn it off. You know? Where's the kitchen? I don't remember. Is it down? Here it is. Orange cookbook. You found the recipe for flaming cheddar. Yes. Recipe book. Flaming cheddar. We can go down. We now have a lot. Regular cheddar. Liquid cheese, crab flour shell, and tremendous toadstool. Mix the resulting cheese with pyrogenic poppy. Alright, well, we will do that next time. I will go to the place. Might have been on the right floor for it anyway. Nope. Dang it. Where is it? Here it is. I'm gonna save here. And we will make some flaming cheddar next time, and then explore some of these other places. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the Sea Will Claim Everything and other awesome games. I'll see you next time. Bye.